Hi guys! So I get asked a lot about what period dramas people should watch first and what my recommendations are if you have never watched them before. So I usually go for the 2-hour Hollywood feature films because they're a lot simpler and they appeal to a larger, broader amount of people. They have really star-studded casts and they have really big budgets, so they can spend more on things like costumes and sets. So they're usually really aesthetic and just beautiful to watch. So that's why a lot of my recommendations now are going to be these feature-length films. So I have 4 period dramas to show you today. 3 of them are films and 1 of them is a TV show. So usually when somebody asks me, these are my go-to ones that I'll share. So the first one I have is Becoming Jane. This film is about a young Jane Austen, and although it's mainly fictional, you can see the parallels between her character in this film and some of the stories and books that she's written. So that's really, really interesting, but I think the best thing about this film is the chemistry between Anne Hathaway and James McAvoy. Whenever you see them together, it's electric on screen and it's always so tense. The end of this film is absolutely stunning and a lot of people I know have cried. Most of the people I know who've watched this have cried at the end because it's so sad and it's so cute. This has a really good supporting cast as well. It has Judi Dench and Maggie Smith as well as so many other amazing actors. So this is high on my recommendations list. The next one I have is Pride and Prejudice 2005. Of course we all know about this, or if you haven't you've heard of it, but what I think is special about this film and why it really gets people into period dramas is it introduces you to the Regency era first, and there are so many other Regency era period dramas. After I watched this film personally, I went on to watching the other Austen adaptations, and then after that you can watch adaptations of other classic authors. I went on to Dickens and Hardy and Gaskell. Also, watching films like this can really get you into classics as well. Watching the adaptation before you read the book is also really helpful because you can understand the book a lot better. Usually the book is a lot more complex and is better, but watching the film really makes you have a clear understanding of it. You know what's going on and you can picture it in your head, I find anyway. The cinematography in this is also beautiful, and I think that's one of the best things about this film. It's quick, it's easy to watch, it's relaxing, it's cute, it's adorable, and beautiful cast, beautiful story, and you'll really get into more Austen by watching this first film. So the next film I have to share is The Young Victoria. This film is about the young Queen Victoria, and it's about her life from before she was queen to a portion of her reign. So you don't see much of her later life in this film, but what I love about this is it changes from a vulnerable Victoria when she wasn't queen to when she met Prince Albert, and then a little bit after she was queen. Emily Blunt really shines through in this film. She's so amazing and she is the person to watch in this. She is the main character, but she does it so well. You really empathise with her and it's really easy to follow her and her character through it. It's a really popular movie and for good reason as well. So yes, I really highly recommend that. And my last recommendation is Poldark. So Poldark is set in the 1700s in Cornwall and follows Ross Poldark and his family through his life. So it's based on the books by Winston Graham. I've read up to number 4 and I really enjoyed them, but I must say this TV show is really, really good and I think I prefer them to the books. The best thing about this period drama is overall it just has so many aspects of life included, from family to romance to politics to problems like gambling and drinking. That's really interesting as well. The acting in this is superb as well, and the scenery is really the showstopper in this TV show. I think once you've watched Poldark you can get into a lot of other TV shows and miniseries. This is quite short, it's 8 episodes, and there are a lot of TV shows with a lot more, so I think if you enjoyed this, you might enjoy longer ones as well. They are hopefully doing more seasons of this. Season 2 is coming out in autumn, I believe, and I really hope to see more because there's so much more in the books that they can explain, and I'm really looking forward to it. So they were my recommendations for if you haven't watched many period dramas before. I really like these movies because they're just easy to understand, they really catch your interest quickly, and there are so many other things that link towards these that you can try after you've watched them. Also, I think period dramas are really hit or miss kind of thing. They're one of the things that you really either just love or you just don't get along with. I remember I didn't really like them at first, but now I'm completely converted. So I think it's just about watching a lot, and there are so many different types from so many different eras in so many different places. Usually the go-to is the Regency era and the Victorian era. That are amazing, but so much before and so much after that are really worth watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope I wasn't rambly. I hope I made sense, and I'd like to hear about what you recommend for your first period dramas you should watch. So thank you, and see you soon.